Good morning and welcome to what is undoubtedly the most electrifying moment of the 2026 tennis season so far. If you are just joining us, stop what you're doing, put down the phone, turn up the volume, and prepare yourself because the hierarchy of women's tennis has just been shaken to its absolute core. The headlines tomorrow will not just talk about a tennis match. They will talk about the night the desert air in Dubai froze in disbelief. They will talk about the night a 20-year-old rising star from the Philippines stared down an American titan and refused a blink. We are live. Following the aftermath of the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships quarterfinals, and the phrase "all of Dubai shocked" is an understatement. It is pandemonium at the Aviation Club. The narrative coming into this week was simple. Coco Gauff, the world number 5, the athletic phenom, was on a redemption tour after her Australian Open exit. She was a heavy favorite. She was a wall that young challengers were supposed to crash against. And on the other side of the net, Alexandra Eala, the lefty from Quezon City, the girl who just cracked the top 40, the player who only got into this main draw because of withdrawals from Osaka and Keys. She was supposed to be the happy to be here story. She was supposed to be a straight-set stepping stone for golf's march to the trophy. But sports do not follow scripts. And tonight, Alex Eala didn't just read the script. She tore into pieces and set on fire. We have just witnessed a battle that lasted nearly 3 hours. A physical, mental, and emotional war that pushed both women to the absolute limit of human endurance. We saw Gauff's blistering 120 mph serves. We saw Eala's laser-guided lefty forehand, painting lines that shouldn't exist. We saw tie breaks. We saw save match points, and we saw a crowd packed with overseas Filipino workers and tennis purists alike turn a tennis stadium into a cauldron of noise that rivaled a World Cup final. This wasn't just a match. It was a collision of timelines. The established Gen Z superstar versus the rising Asian challenger. Power versus precision. The accumulated pressure of expectation versus the fearless freedom of the underdog. What happened on center court tonight changes the trajectory of the Middle East swing. It changes the conversation about the Big Three or Big Four of women's tennis. It forces us to ask, is the next global superstar already here? Over the next hour, we are going deep. We aren't just looking at the scoreline. We are dissecting the tactics. We are analyzing the mental collapse and the mental fortitude. We are going to break down the third set tiebreak that will be replayed in highlight reels for years to come. We will look at how Eala neutralized a Gauff backhand, how Gauff responded to pressure, and why this specific match in February 2026 marks a turning point for Asian tennis. Buckle up, tennis fans. The impossible just happened in the Emirates. Let's dive in to understand the magnitude of this shock. We first need to contextualize the road to this quarterfinal. This isn't a vacuum. This is a culmination of weeks of pressure. Let's look at Coco Gauff coming into Dubai. Gauff was a woman on a mission. We all saw what happened in Melbourne last month. The quarterfinal loss to Elena Svitolina at the Australian Open wasn't just a loss. It was a frustration-filled exit. We saw the racket smash. We saw the issues with the forehand wing breaking down under extreme heat. Gauff came to Dubai needing to prove that she is still the premier hardcourt player in the world. And honestly, her first 2 rounds here were clinical. She dismantled her opponents with that trademark athleticism, moving around the court like she was gliding. She looked unbeatable. She looked like a champion in waiting. Then you have Alex Eala. The narrative for Eala in 2026 has been the rise. Starting the year outside the elite, grinding through qualifiers, reaching the quarterfinals in Abu Dhabi, and then the breakthrough, cracking the top 40 this very week. But remember, she entered this draw as an underdog. In the first round, she faced Hailey Baptiste, a tricky match, another rising American, and Eala fought through. She wasn't blowing people off the court with power. She was dissecting them. She was using that lefty spin, that Rafael Nadal Academy grit. But nobody, and I mean nobody, predicted she had the weapons to hurt Coco Gauff on a fast hard court. The match began exactly as the pundits predicted. It was a massacre. Gauff came out of the blocks firing rockets. Her serve was untouchable. In the first 3 games, Gauff served 4 aces. Eala frankly looked shell-shocked. The pace of ball coming from Gauff's racket is different from anything Eala had faced in Abu Dhabi or Doha. You can see Eala rushing her backswing, framing balls, struggling to find her range. Gauff broke Eala in the 4th game. A love break. It was brutal. It felt like big sister teaching little sister a lesson. Gauff's backhand crosscourt was finding such acute angles that Eala was being dragged into the doubles alley, leaving the entire court open for Gauff to hit winners. The first set ended 6-2 to Gauff in just 34 minutes. At that moment, the shock seemed impossible. The crowd was quiet. The Filipino contingent, usually so loud, was silenced by the sheer dominance of the American. It looked like a routine day at the office for the world number 5. But this is where the genius of Alexandra Eala and perhaps the vulnerability of Gauff began to show. In the break between sets, I didn't panic. You could see her taking deep breaths, resetting. When she came out for the second set, she changed her position. She stopped trying to stand on the baseline and trade power with Gauff. She took half a step back and started using height. This is a Nadal DNA coming through. Illinois started looping that lefty forehand high to the Gauff forehand. Now, we know Gauff's forehand can be shaky when the ball is up in her strike zone above the shoulder. I found that weakness and she hammered it. She stopped hitting flat. She started hitting heavy. Suddenly, the error started creeping into Gauff's game. A shank forehand here. A double fault there. The crowd sensed a shift at 3-3 in the second set. Eala produced a shot a match so far. A running forehand passing shot down the line that caught the very edge of the paint. The stadium erupted. That was a spark. A broke off to go up 4-3. But Gauff is a fighter. She broke back immediately. The intensity ratcheted up. They traded holds until 6-5. Eala leading. Gauff serving to stay in the set. The pressure was palpable. On set point, they played a 24-shot rally. Back and forth, corner to corner. Gauff tried to inject pace, but Eala absorbed it, and then unleashed a flattened-out backhand win across court. 7-5, Eala. One set all. The shock was brewing. If the second set was tactical, the third set was a brawl. It was physical. It was humid. Both players were dripping with sweat. The rallies extended. 15 shots, 20 shots. Gauff was using her superior movement to retrieve impossible balls. But Eala was refusing to miss. There is a specific mental aspect we need to discuss here. The fear factor. Usually when a lower-ranked player takes a set off a top-5 player, they tighten up in the third. They get imposter syndrome. They think I shouldn't be winning this. Eala showed none of that. She looked at Gauff not with fear, but with hunger. The critical moment came at 4-4 in the third set. Gauff had a break point. If she converts there, she serves for the match and orders restored. Gauff hit a crushing return. Eala was on the back foot, scrambling. She threw up a defensive lob, a desperation shot. Gauff had an overhead smash to bury it. She set up, she jumped, and she smashed it into the net. The sound of the crowd gasping was louder than the cheers. A routine smash missed. You could see the color drain from Gauff's face. Eala held serve. 5-4. The match went to a deciding tie break. 6-6 in the third. First to 7 or 10 in some formats, but let's assume standard tiebreak tension. Points 1-3 went with serve. Then at 3-3, Eala produced magic. A drop shot against one of the fastest women in the world. It was suicidal, but it was perfect. The ball died on the court before Gauff could even take her first step. 4-3. Eala. Gauff responded with an ace. 4-4. Eala forced an error. 5-4. Then 2 serves for Gauff. She missed the first serve. Second serve. Kick serve to the Eala backhand. Eala stepped in and crushed a return deep to the baseline. Gauff framed a reply. 6-4. 2 match points for Alexandra Eala. The stadium was shaking. Eala. Eala. Chants were deafening. On the first match point, Eala served wide. Gauff returned. They rallied. Eala went for the winner too early net. 6-5. 1 match point remaining. Gauff serving. This is the moment that will define this tournament. Gauff went for the body serve. Eala blocked it back. Gauff attacked with the backhand. Eala sliced it low. Gauff had to bend her knees. Dig it out. She floated it back to the midcourt. Eala stepped in. She had the entire court open. She didn't blast it. She calmly, precisely rolled the ball into the open corner. Wrong footing Gauff. Game set. Match. Eala. The scoreboard read 2-6, 7-5, 7-6. But the numbers don't tell the story. The story is a shock. Why is Dubai shocked? Because Coco Gauff doesn't lose matches like this. She doesn't lose from a setup against players ranked outside the top 20. She is the physical benchmark. But tonight she was outthought. Eala's victory wasn't luck. It was a masterpiece of left-handed geometry. By constantly nagging the Gauff forehand with heavy spin, she broke down the American's rhythm. She took away the rhythm that Gauff thrives on. Furthermore, we have to talk about the mental resilience of Alexandra Eala. To be blown off the court 6-2 in the first set and not crumble. That shows a maturity of a Grand Slam champion in the making. She absorbed the power. She absorbed the aura of Coco Gauff and she neutralized it. This one sends Eala into the semifinals of the WTA 1000 event. It guarantees her a massive jump in the rankings. She will likely knock on the door of the top 30, maybe even top 25 after this. But more importantly, it announces her arrival. She is no longer just a prospect. She is a contender. For Gauff, this is a worry. That's 2 exits in big tournaments where she has been frustrated by gritty tactical opponents. The questions about her forehand under pressure will persist. But tonight is not about Gauff's failure. It is about Eala's triumph. The scenes at the end. Eala dropping her racket, hands over her face. The Filipino fans cry in the stands. That is what sport is about. The shock is real. The result is official. The underdog has toppled the giant. As the lights dim on center court and the cleaning crews begin to sweep away the confetti of what was a chaotic evening, we are left to process the magnitude of what we just witnessed. Sport is defined by these moments. We spend hours analyzing statistics, seedings, and head-to-head records. We convince ourselves that we know what is going to happen. We say, Gauff has the power. She has the experience. She will win. But the beauty of tennis is that it is played by humans, not algorithms. Tonight, Alexandra Eala reminded us that hard strategy and fearless execution can dismantle even the most imposing hierarchies. This result, Eala defeating Gauff in the quarterfinals, will send shockwaves far beyond Dubai. In the Philippines, this will be front-page news. It will inspire a generation of young kids picking up rackets in Manila, Cebu, and Davao. Seeing that height and raw power aren't the only ways to win, you can win with grit. You can win with intelligence. For the tournament itself, the draw has been blown wide open. The bottom half of the draw is now a free-for-all. Can Eala sustain this? Can she recover physically after a 3-hour war to play the semifinals tomorrow? That is the next big question. Defeating a giant is one thing. Winning the war is another. But if she plays with the same lefty verve, the same tactical discipline she showed tonight, there is no reason she cannot lift this trophy. And a final word on Coco Gauff. She will be back. She is too good, too talented, and too driven not to learn from this. But tonight serves as a reminder that the gap at the top of women's tennis is closing. The top 10 is not a fortress. It is a target. And tonight, Alex Eala hit the bullseye. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into one of the most shocking nights in Dubai tennis history. The drama isn't over yet. The semifinals are less than 24 hours away. And if tonight was the appetizer, I cannot wait to see the main.